Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's been a while since I have made a video and uploaded it up on YouTube. But I've literally spent the whole of November working on new content. I literally have so many new recipes to upload. And I'm going to start off firstly with this one, which is tandoori chicken with homemade chips. The last time I actually made this was 2 years ago, when I first started my channel on Instagram, and I decided it was about time I made it again. So to start off this recipe, firstly I used 700 grams of chicken breast. So on the chicken I added the seasonings, which were just on the screen, with some garlic and ginger, and then I followed that by half a cup of natural yogurt. I absolutely love adding yogurt to chicken. I feel like it brings out so much more flavour and it makes the chicken so soft. Once I added the yogurt, I then also added some olive oil and then give that all a very good mix. So I would personally recommend allowing the chicken to marinate for a minimum of 2 hours. But really for best results, I would say overnight. Best results to me meaning like the longer you allow chicken to marinate, the more tastier it will be in terms of flavour wise, whereas if you do cook it straight away, you won't have the same taste as allowing it to marinate overnight. So I actually did plan to make the chicken with frozen chips that were like already shop bought, but then last minute I decided to actually cook them from scratch. This part is pretty self-explanatory. But this is simply how I cut the potatoes. So once the potatoes are sliced, I put them in a bowl and added in some cold water. And then I simply set them aside while I cook the chicken. Firstly, to start off when cooking your chicken, I added some olive oil into a pan. Before adding in the chicken, make sure that your pan is hot. I had it on a medium to high flame. Once all the chicken is in the pan, I simply allowed it to cook for around 2 to 3 minutes on that medium to high heat. This simply allows the chicken to have a really nice char on one side until it's time to turn it over. So after the 2 to 3 minutes, simply start mixing the chicken together. One side will slightly be nicely charred as well. And at this point, the heat is still on a medium to high. And then continue to cook the chicken like this on a medium to high heat for a further 5 minutes. So this first step of cooking the chicken, I like to simply sweat it off on a high heat. And then I added on the lid and I cook the chicken for a further 4 to 5 minutes. This simply allows the chicken to release all of its juices, and it also literally tends to make your chicken a lot more softer and flavorful. If you do tend to cook your chicken without a lid, then you will notice that it might be a little bit more dry than cooking it with a lid on for a couple of minutes. The chicken ended up turning out so soft and juicy, I could literally just eat them just like that with some naan. I'm also just thinking as well, this chicken will be perfect with like a really nice fresh salad. So now moving on to the chips that have been soaking inside of the bowl. Simply take them all out and put them on a tea towel and allow them to completely dry. Before adding them to oil, you want no water on them at all. By the way, I personally prefer to air fry my chips, and I just remembered I deep fried these, but I will try them out in the air fryer and see how they are. So when it comes to frying the chips, I simply fried them twice. I was casually struggling trying to record it with one hand, but try to not overfill your pan as well. And then after the 4 minutes is done, remove the chips from the pan. And then simply refry them for another 4 minutes. You can cook them for a little longer if you want them to be more crispier, but at this point they were definitely done. They do look a bit pale, but they are cooked. I ended up garnishing the chips with some garlic and herb seasoning, and they actually turned out really nice. I would prefer them in the air fryer though, because I just like air fried chips more. And this is literally how I make my tandoori chicken and homemade chips. I ended up garnishing the chicken with some coriander, and I have to admit it actually turned out so nice. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I can't wait to share all the new recipes which I've made throughout the whole of November. There will be a lot more chicken, so if you do love chicken, then you're in for a treat. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.